Pro. Get into game one. I hope you guys are hyped. I hope you guys are filled up. Maybe got some snacks, some beers, things like that. Whatever your tipple is on a Sunday.
Can you let me intro Dave, please? By the way, I wanted to intro Dave if that's possible.
Do you want to intro Dave? Absolutely. Yep. Okay, I'm going to run the intro. Come on. All right. Hello everybody, welcome to the first game of our King of the Hill Week 2. And after an amazing first week, we've had a huge boost to signed up players for this event. And our current king from last week at the moment playing as UKF from the top side of Faymanville Approach, it is going to be Paula.
And in the southeast side, we have a true destroyer of worlds, an eater of men. He is the human onslaught, the co-killing machine. It's Dave.
Classy Dave.
Classy Dave.
Alright, so this is our first game lineup today. Interesting one because we have UKF versus Austere. It isn't a matchup we've seen in this tournament so far, so we haven't seen the new patch between these factions in 1v1 yet. So it's interesting. And we don't have that instant commander pick from Dave, which sometimes we see as Ostrupen. Ostrupen, of course, ever since GCS with Helping Hands, are typically the go-to against Brits because of their reinforcement cost and their just speed to get on field. But we don't see that. We don't see that. So, hey, looking at his other commander choices, I think we're in for an interesting Austere game today.
I think so as well. I think Dave is one of those guys that gets people excited because he is an exciting player. He does things that you don't usually expect and he plays the game in his own way. That said, this does look like a very classic matchup. It is, of course, Brits versus the Wehrmacht on Faymanville Approach. This is as exciting from a tournament purist standpoint as you will get.
4 Tommy squads, eh?
Yes, that's a lot. And,
oh, so it's Paula, right? Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, I'm like,
yes,
right.
he does tend to build a lot of one type of unit. And to be honest, Dan, I've got definitions of spam and in Company of Heroes. It varies depending on what the unit is and how many of them you usually see. So I would say with Tommies, with their high upkeep cost and their high value, I think anything over 3 is technically spam.
Yeah, I can see that, to be honest. I think traditionally it's like, you know, 3 core infantry, isn't it, with a support unit. That's kind of like the standard how KotH's been for a lot for
KotH 2 especially, yeah.
Except USF, which they get gifted with tech. It's a little different for that faction. But in general, for Tommies, I think is a weird one because they're very good in cover positions, you know, and they're going to be very useful to Paula going through this. Increased rate of fire when they get into cover positions, so green cover here will be helping them get rid of the pioneers on the right, but there's no support weapons. And I think that's where Austere, who have the MGs, the mortars to get them out of those cover positions, will do very well in this game.
It certainly will. He's got an MG set up over the fuel point, just begging this Tommy to flank him around the east side there. And then elsewhere on the cover, we've got a pitched engagement between these Grenadiers who have denied the Brits cover. So I think, Dan, it's all on this fuel point right now.
There's some really good early game decapping go on. Dave is not going to rest while Paul is just taking cover positions around the map. He's actually gone all the way up to Paula's base for that strategic decap, which is just fantastic. And Paula is actually confident enough to have 1 squad fighting on the south right. Sorry, in the southeast. South right. Don't want to mix up our compass.
This Grenadier's in a tough patch here in the west. He's got a tricky retreat path along negative cover, and it'd be interesting to see if Paul moves units into that retreat path to further his burden. Ooh, sniper on the build for Paula. 2 MGs out for Dave. I know what counters the other unit, and sniper is a great support weapon counter if you can support for it.
It is, yeah. With only 2 Grenadiers on the field, there isn't that much that is going to be contesting So actually, sniper's an excellent choice here.
Also note there's a decent teller mine on the central road just north of the victory point. And that is going to be really good against possibly an AEC or maybe an early game Cromwell.
It's a sensible thing to do because I think he is struggling to get the fuel going at the moment. Both players, they seem to have gone quite cutthroat with the fuel resource in this game from the start, but I think Paul is actually coming out on top of that right now. He's also had a lot more strategic points, and we've referenced this loads of times before, AE, that strategic points are nearly more valuable than the fuel resource on its own.
Definitely they are, because they're often in easier to cap situations, and you get munitions as well, and you can cap 2 strategic points in the time it'll take to cap a fuel point, because fuel points take longer to cap. In many ways, Company of Heroes 2's resource system is broken, but yes, it would indeed be that it's inverted in what you would usually think for the most part.
I think that's one of the really interesting things is how you see a lot of players really dive for the fuel points, like it's Company of Heroes 1. We've got to get to that fuel. That's what's going to decide this game. Actually, no. Just cap like 5 strat points. Let your opponents sit on fuel and enjoy a much wealthier faction.
Stormus' 5 tips to ultimate wealth. Not a pyramid scheme. I repeat, not a pyramid scheme.
Sorry,
it's a trapezoid.
Yeah. I don't mean to start. What's that guy's name from Wolf of Wall Street? Belfort. Is that his name Jordan Belfort?
Sell me this pen.
This is a Relic Entertainment pen. It comes with unlimited DLC that is released in the game across the entire time that Company of Heroes 2 is being supported.
No, they sell you the ink cartridge separately. It doesn't come with ink.
You get ink splats.
Capture point.
Ink splats, blotches. Damn RNG, it's all over the place. Oh god, the sniper's just been opened up against an MG. It's not had a great foray into the battlefield, and now it's got to retreat. That's 2 retreats in as many minutes.
Okay, this is interesting. So we have this mechanic going on here. Dave has built the sniper, and it's pretty much just going to be a counter sniper for now. I think we can see that. So he's trying to get the British sniper to take shots at this MG, and then he's going to work the counter snipe. But until then, this unit isn't doing anything. So he's not going to be enjoying that kind of manpower reduction over Brits. So he needs to start working up. But one successful counter snipe, and this is a very good situation.
Here you go. The Brit sniper. Going prone, perhaps lining up a shot. There you go, the Wehrmacht sniper. Where was it? It now sees the Brit sniper out in the open. Will it get the shot? Yes, it will. Counter snipe goes in.
Beautiful play. Lovely counter snipe. The Tommy's not able to focus fire the sniper on the retreat, which means it does get away. MG with the successful bait retreating back to base. That is a beautiful start game from Dave against Paula.
And it was almost delayed as well. He had more than enough seconds to fire that big boy's 50 cal anti-tank rifle into the face of the Wehrmacht, the Brit sharpshooter. I got the other way around, but you never mind.
Just have a little look at the tech. So we're on tier 2 at the moment, battle phase 1 for Dave, and as for Paula, he is going to build another sniper. He hasn't made any decision towards AEC or Bofors, so it looks like he's going to be sticking with support weapons and snipers.
Do you know what Helping Hands would have done in this situation, by the way, Just? He would have rifle-naded the Talamine. That's what he would have done. He just said it in chat, and I think that's ingenious, and it would be exciting to see Helping Hands play today. It's absolutely no secret to most fans that is the case.
Well, actually, we missed this earlier. Like, the sign-ups for this event have gone crazy. Like, we had Love Nest sign up. I don't think anybody expected that to happen. Hans signed up as well. Brosras is in there, who's been absolutely hammering the leaderboards recently. So the player pool for this event is top tier. No doubt about that. This is top tier, and Dave, who is incredibly potent, is also one of those players. So.
Second Brit sniper is out, and it's a counter sniper. It's been assigned, it's been told very sternly in base what happened to the last one. Rifle nade goes into the building, health damage done.
I think he's going with that sniper again, but if he walks out of cover here like he is, that might allow for Paula. Will he line it up? He sees it there. Yes, he is.
Surely. Company of counter snipes.
That is careless by Dave, to be honest. Just because you've killed that enemy sniper doesn't mean you need to take your eyes off of the field. And he definitely deserved to get counter sniped there. Now it's back to an even field. Dave is going to try and reverse it one more time with another sniper. What is happening, Abe?
Well, it's Company of Heroes 1, clearly.
I feel like we're watching Dev M play. You know what I mean? I must have this sniper in my build, even though I'm being attacked by tanks and have no AT. Must have the sniper.
Faymanville, out of all the 1v1 maps in KotH, is the sniper map. It's got so many long lines of sight and a nice spine, a double spine of cover leading up all the way up the map, so you should, in theory, be able to push your sniper all the way up. So basically, I don't know what Dave was thinking, just lurking in the middle of that road there. That was an accident waiting to happen.
It's a huge shame because that was a big advantage there that was wasted. Now we see the telemine has been discovered by Paula. He's going to have an idea that telemines were planted. Maybe that's something Dave is doing elsewhere. He now knows to be a little bit more cautious. So very unfortunately, Dave has not had that kind of surprise factor from the telemine on this occasion.
KotH S2 E2 could be going down here. If the sniper is going to get greedy, is he going to get greedy? He's going prone. Oh, just about gets away out of the cone of fire of that sniper.
These sniper engagements have been crazy. Dave's going to be trying as hard as he can to find the right line. He nearly had it then. That could have been that counter snipe successful.
So Dave's now getting a 10.5-minute mortar. So people that want to see more early game, this is definitely a case where we're seeing a lot more early game. No rush for early game vehicles so far. And it's quite pleasurable that to have this build up, to have this slow, methodical escalation of tech.
It is. It's actually quite a nice game to cast for this because it's still brutal right from the start. But one thing that we do see is that Paula has been building up his... he actually saved quite a lot of manpower, you know, by the way that he was playing with Brits, you know, despite losing the sniper. But one of the interesting things right now is actually coming down to resource income because, of course, we do see that Paula has pushed the strategic point outside of Dave's base, meaning that all the fuel, the munitions here is completely disconnected, and Dave has one territory right now.
Dave's going to be in a difficult situation at the moment. I'm just looking at his commanders. He does, of course, have mobile defense, which is a good go-to commander if you can't tech because you've lacked fuel, so he always has that up his sleeve as a possibility. We've also, by the way, had the MG lost in the south, it would seem. The MG42 is now in Paula's hands. He was able to stop it on that road, on the retreat path to base, and we now have a stolen MG. Yeah,
it looked like Dave was just trying to stop Paula going for the VPs, but it was a late retreat, to be honest. And, the sniper had already been taking a model down very, very easily, so... yeah, let's just watch how Dave tries to do this. So we expect probably he's going to go over to the right-hand side now, closest to his base, where he has less chance of being pushed to this strategic point for the decap. And he needs to make sure that he keeps resources in right now, otherwise this game is going to... he's going to lose it very, very quickly if he doesn't catch up.
We now have Paula on company command post. He has access to the Cromwell tank, but he's not electing to build it quite yet, which might mean he'll be going for Comet, perhaps.
I think it would be sensible for him to do that. I think there's relatively little chance that Dave is going to have had the resources. It depends how much Paul has been watching that, but he has been aggressive on the cutoff, so maybe he is going to make that that push for Comet. It's very strong. It
is very strong. If you're in the ascendancy as Brits and you're just dominating, this was Aimstrong's strategy in particular, a big Brit player in the GCS tournament. It's just to, honestly, just be super aggressive in the early game for a full Tommy build, and then try and get the Comet out.
I find this interesting, Dave. Oh, okay, yeah. He went for the munitions. I was like, why are you not going for the VP? You're a little bit far down. But, good to see that he's making some progression through the map. We did see, by the way, some mines have been laid by Paula. He's trying to cover so that when Dave does try to branch out to the left side to get VPs, he will lose some models there and most likely
a lot of models. Wow.
Yeah.
We've got, is that 4 mines? 5 mines have been, no, 4, yeah, 4 mines have been planted there. No, and a 5th one by the building, so bloody hell, there's a lot of munitions spent on creating a massive minefield. Two snipers out, by the way, now for Dave now.
This is interesting. So we have the Cromwell is built, so he's not going to push for the Comet, and this is also a very sensible idea, whichever way you go here, because having the Cromwell out is going to further put the nail in the coffin, you know, to keep all that map control going, which at the moment he's losing back a bit, so doesn't actually have too much time to wait for the Comet. He needs something that can get everything back in control right now, and I think this is a good option for him.
MG40 on the retreat path of this MG42. It's probably not going to be able to, unfortunately for them, take it back.
Sniper's going to have to do some serious work. Cromwell has just hit the field, and there is no AT right now for David.
Brit Sniper's been counter-sniped on the central road there. The Wehrmacht sniper saw him and got the shot off. So that's now Dave with the sniper advantage, 2-0 at the moment.
Oh, just missed that. Sorry.
It's alright, it was a difficult one, and it was just behind that tree. But now the Brits are on the warpath, they're going to take their revenge. They've got the Cromwell thundering into that central ground. And Dave goes for the counter-pick straight away, but it might be too late because his sniper's getting countered by the British cruiser tank.
That Puma has a lot of work to do if it's going to try and hold off this Cromwell. There are no grenadiers at the base at the moment to provide the Faust. Oh, there they are, they're actually hidden behind the hedgerow. Get the Faust off, so will this be the opportunity for the Puma to go up the field? We don't also see AT from Paula, so the Puma with vision here could actually take this down. It'd be a great turnaround if he does.
I don't know why he's not pursuing. The Puma now roars into action. He's on the pursuit, rear armour facing. This Cromwell couldn't get the dive in on the sniper and loses its life because of it.
What a fantastic play from Dave there. That was really, really nice timing. Good job that he held his commander off so that he could make that decision. Of course, now it means he does have to tech up if he wants to get the kind of armor necessary to deal with the rest of this game. But he's put himself in a position where he can at least recap the territory he needs.
Hashtag panic Puma. That's exactly what it was. He clicked the ability, it was ready to be clicked, and his opponents suffered the consequences.
Bad MG placement there from Paula. It means these pioneers should be able to go around and flank, forcing them off the field a little bit. 80 out for Paula to try and deal with this Puma.
The problem with the Puma, though, and the mobile defense doctrine is Wehrmacht are now left without the late-game heavy-hitting tanks. And they will be up against the Vanguard Crocodile if they make it to the late game, so it might be tricky.
Oh, didn't kill it. That has to have been balanced.
Yes, it was.
He just used target weak point, yeah, to try and take the last model down on the MG, but just did a bit of health damage, not quite enough health to take it down. Snipers opening up on the MG, covering fuel on the right position. This is going to allow these grenadiers to make a necessary capture to get fuel for teching or further Pumas.
One thing we may find in this game, by the way, is Paula could actually start to fall into a manpower sink. Now the snipers are uncontested, they may be able to just drain Paul down.
Hopefully it can, because, I mean, we're looking at... Let's have a look at Paula's tech for a second and see if it ever loads up. So he hasn't gone for hammer or anvil, so the suggestion is maybe he's going to go Cromwell, which he could go for very shortly, or he goes for the crocodile, which I think is where he may probably go, knowing that Puma is the doctrine selection.
Yes, the crocodile can pretty much just soak up Puma damage, especially with 6-pounder support. It must be noted, by the way, Paula is in tournament form, it would seem. He's on 500 victory points. So, as noted by Pompey in chat.
He's been messaging me all morning. I don't know whether it's intentional, this is the thing. It's always the way with Paula, that he is, his keyboard is broken. He's currently playing on a 10 years old keyboard. Why does he still
Older than GB Hooligan? Bloody hell.
Older than Dev M and Hooligan combined. And, and apparently, yeah, so he's been spamming the same chat message to me relentlessly this morning.
So you have given him the shout out for when he loses. If he loses, he's got the excuse in.
Yes, yeah. But he can also use it to his advantage if he wins and say, well, I beat you with my broken keyboard.
1 sniper on 10 kills. Veteran C2 must have gotten the 2 counter snipes and is very proud of himself because of it.
Got a nice mine there on the munitions. I do like what Paul is doing with the mines. They are absolutely everywhere. We've got 3 on the approach to the victory point on the west side. So these snipers need to be very, very careful about walking over this direction. Instead, they're just going to take some pot shots at the engineers. And I don't think Dave has decided whether he's going left or right. I think Paul is doing a great job of applying pressure in different places here.
He really seems to be on form so far, Paula. Paula had a torrid time in a recent factional showdown series I ran, and he was really not happy with himself. And it's good to see him get the chance to prove himself in a tournament finally in 2017, because obviously he couldn't play in GCS either. So it's good to have him have this stage. I know he can be a bit of a troll sometimes, but there's no denying he's a damn fine player.
Anyone who puts on good games is fine in my books, to be honest.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Here we go, we got all 4. This is classic Paula. He's got all 4 infantry squads with upgrades moving as a cogniscient blob.
The capture point is being overrun.
Yeah, this is what he's been waiting for all game, really, isn't it? He's been waiting to get those Brens up, and now he's just going to be able to move this around and pretty much force off the lone grenadier
squad. You notice what he's done, though? He's got one Tommy as a sacrificial lamb to the suppression, then he's using the other as the breakaway blob. This is advanced Paula tactics.
I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't really have that much else around. I mean, let's just check out Dave. What's Dave doing at the moment? So he has actually escalated to Battle Phase 2. We want to see him build the support armor core, and then get maybe an Ostwind out. That would be amazing for this right now.
Yeah, they're cheaper now, the Ostwinds, and they've had a bit of a buff, to be honest. Or he could go for the heavy Panzer core and get that Wehrmacht Panther, which is now in a really good place, say the balancers.
I'm trying to watch him just get rid of wow, he got rid of all those mines very, very quickly. And that means the left-hand side is a little more clear now. Some grenadiers are going over. Where's the retaliation? MG coming in, going to be able to suppress the grenadiers and pioneers easily. So Dave still hasn't managed to find his way around Paulie. Every time he makes some kind of attempt, he's just pushed off of the map.
We've had a little bit of analysis from Helping Hands in chat. He says that in this situation, Dave would definitely need a Sturmgeschütz against the Crocodile Flamethrower. And who better than Helping Hands to give that piece of information? Somebody that uses Brits a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be the thing that comes out quick enough, because as the CP comes up to 13, we see that Paula is... Oh no, he's just spent all of his fuel. He's going for the Comet.
That's surprising.
For the Comet.
There you go. Well,
incendiary rounds Grenadier.
Difficult territory. Will he survive? No, he will not, and he dies in a flurry of sparks and flames. Pretty exciting way to die.
Yeah, that's incendiary's. Incendiary's great. You know, I think that was very good usage there, and just caught Dave a little bit off guard. Let's have a look what's going on here at the moment. So we are seeing support armor core is being built. Will we see the Helping Hands Stug come on the field to save the day against this Comet, or are we going to see an Ostwind to help deal with this infantry spam? I guess actually it probably will be that, because he's getting the extra MG at the moment, which suggests he'll probably just try to suppress infantry. So it's probably going to be what Stuga's Hands says.
Could be. Very exciting if it was. But, 2 snipers, of course, now with 13 and 9 kills apiece, the Apprentice and the Master. And they're dominating the central ground, allowing Dave to now move up a little bit further up into the north and try and solidify 2 victory points.
Sorry, I feel like we should give the Comet a beautiful entry onto the field, because what a tank to have at this part of the game right now.
Oh, what a tank!
Comet nice. Actually taking a couple of hits straight away from the AT gun. Puma tries to get a shot, but doesn't penetrate through the front. This MG is in a little bit of danger as it's coming under attack from all of the Tommy Brens.
Fire from the Wehrmacht mortar doing a lot of damage to these Tommies. It's already climbed to Veteran C2 despite only having 3 kills.
our territory.
Recoil in terror and move away from it. It must be noted, by the way, Paul is finally not on 500 victory points anymore. He's dropped down to 476. And that's indicative of Dave really starting to solidify into this late game Wehrmacht. It's alright, I saw the sniper was under a little bit of duress.
I can't help myself, but go.
No. We actually communicate. If nobody knew this, me and Dan have built up a system of short inhalations of breath to stop each other talking when something happens. Like, that's the one I go for.
Like the key for the Dane intro.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Fantastic. Okay, so
what's
this is going to be
this?
this dude.
For the support armor company is building the Sturmgeschütz.
The Sturmgeschütz is going to be the choice, well called out, and this is going to be what is going to help contest. The question is now, though, Puma is relatively... This is what I think is... It's like a lifesaver having the mobile defense Puma, but it just puts you so much in a position where you're like, I can't really use my doctrine at the moment. We haven't seen him flick on for Ostrupen, which I think would be quite useful when he does push up the field, because getting Ostrupen against the Brits, yeah, that's good. You start saving up the manpower. But KotH repaired, tearing down the center of the field right now, and its opponent, the Sturmgeschütz, is here.
Oh, that's much better. I like that. Grizzled veteran of the Eastern
We should
Front.
give this one a cinematic as well, sorry, because this is also...
The grizzled veteran of the Eastern Front, the hard-hitting assault gun of the Soviet-made, it's the Sturmgeschütz.
Alright, so let's see. The one thing we do have is that VPs are very much in favor of Paul right now. Dave would need to do a hell of a lot of work if he's going to win this game. But at least he's putting himself in a position. You see the map control is actually starting to sway a little bit back in Axe's favour, which is lovely to see.
Really has. Paul is looking strong though. He has the KotH out and he's now saving his reserves to get to the Crocodile, which will be a very potent 1-2 combo to have on the field.
Oh, nice stun shot from the Puma is met with a shot from the pack. Can the pack get the stun round off? I don't even think that was selected there as an option. Puma's actually making a few penetrating shots, meaning that KotH has to get out of there. No damage to Puma whatsoever, and a lovely play from Dave.
Dave is a lovely chap with some lovely plays for certain. The Sturmgeschütz is now hunting. It's in Jaeger mode. The KotH is down to 50% health. However, it's retreated to a very nice spot behind the minefield.
He needs to be careful because a lot of mines have been planted there by Paul in this game, which he has been sweeping, so he knows not to push with that stew.
Since we have concentrated fire operation coming down, hurtling from the skies above.
Where is it? Has he used it on that building? Is that where he's used it? On the right?
Yes, he hates that building.
250 munitions to get that MG out of that building.
Well, it's out. You can't argue with results. It's like this is how the United States won the war, you know. We've got a Wehrmacht position. There's 3 of them. There's 3 guys. Okay, Paul in the artillery. That's how they won. Honestly, that's all they did.
Oh my god, that's actually hilarious. I think, yeah. You will always beat me on that argument, is that it worked. And? Oh gosh, well, to aid the Sturmgeschütz, we do have the Panzer IV, which will be on the field soon. Now that is the unit that will be able to both help against the KotH and the infantry, so...
Really?
Dave is pulling this back somehow. Paul is just about to dip down to 400 VPs, so first game of the day and it's already blood pumping. I love this. I love casting this. It's awesome. It's so good to see like top players back and doing stuff in 1v1.
It is lovely. It truly is. We've got the Brand Guns Tommies, Wolvet 3 versus the Grenadier, but they're forced away thanks to the MG42 in the north. Dave has got himself bunkered down in the north and the centre, and he's built himself a sterling patch of resistance. And the Brits are going to rely upon, of course, the Vanguard Operations Crocodile to break this carousel of resistance to smash through the pocket.
Combination of a crocodile and a comet is just... it's just horrible to think about. It's the one thing really you don't want to come up against in this game. And it's difficult because Dave's done the right thing, of course, going for this tier 3 medium armor anti-tank, because of course AT guns will just get melted from the front when that crocodile is on the field. So I think that's... oh no, he is spending on another comet. Hey, he's spending on another comet, which is great. It's actually great. So
it's not a bad choice. I think a comet can counter everything on the battlefield except a Stug with veterancy if the Stug is well protected. But
no, I think Dave's already displayed to us. He knows how to stun vehicles. He knows how to get those right, the engagement to turn his way. His tank play has been great. I don't think Paula's has been. Paula's been risky at times. And Dave is laying some telemines.
I can't overstate just how important the manpower drain from the snipers is. It's not something immediately apparent. The camera of Stormless will mostly be on vehicles, and the boring side of the game is the snipers constantly picking away in the background. If you just listen to the cast, you will always hear that whistling G43 scoped rifle just constantly plinking away. And every time it does, it is pushing Paula into mathematical destruction. He's getting bled dry, and it's not something immediately apparent unless you listen for it, but it is happening. And the sniper, one of them is up to 16 kills and the other is on 26, and each one of those kills represents 24 manpower at least, so it's a lot.
Yep, it's a very excellent point about how good winning the sniper battle has been for Dave in this game. You just don't see it though, because obviously how much territory was under control of Paula, even after all of that. So but yeah, you're absolutely right. Doing an insane amount of work, especially to this infantry build. What's happening here with the comet? Going to put 2 of them in there pretty soon. Dave, I don't think Dave has enough to dissuade 2 comets.
Possibly not, but I like this trio. You've got the Puma, the Sturmgeschütz, and the Panzerfehr. It's a Veriboo's wet dream, and they're acting in unison at the moment, just daring. Oh, they just hit a double mine with a damaged engine. Will Paul take advantage? The Comets need to swing around. At the moment, they're focused on support weapons. He really needs to take advantage, in all honesty.
Oh no, the AT gun is set up in the wrong direction. Now it's having to pull back to base. None of the vehicles are in the right place for this. Another mine has gone off on the Sturmgeschütz, which means that it is not going to be around to help with this engagement at all. AT gun's trying to get some shots off. Fortunately, have penetrations there, and the Panzer IV is pretty much going to have to deal with pushing these away on its own. This is a tense engagement.
It's incredibly tense. The Panzer IV rocks forward. The other 2 are damaged, but they take a huge wombo combo shot from the 6-pounder and the Comets. That Panzer IV is an ex-Panzer.
Oh, this is the danger point. The Comets can go back now. Infantry have this under control after taking down the MG, and the AT gun can easily push up against the Puma and the Stug. And that MG is going to be recapped by Paula.
Mines win games. And Paula showed us all why that's such a powerful doctrine. We had 2 damaged medium armor vehicles that really could have swung that engagement in Dave's favour, but they were nowhere to be seen. The Panzer IV emerged without support and was taken out instantly, and now Paula is in the ascendancy.
Of course, we did have the sniper go down as well, which is another huge loss. We are going to see the loss of this Puma. We're going to see it abandoned on this Puma, which I think actually Dave doesn't even want to try and rescue it, because quite frankly there's an AT gun hanging around and he does not want to be there.
Look at these boys, anti-tank rifle. They're suppressed, but they're still doing work. Will they get the final 2 shots in required? One's pinned. They're both pinned. They're out. But here comes the Comet. Pack 40 facing.
Pack 40 is slightly out of position there to deal with the Comet as it comes around. I don't see how Dave can do this. He swapped his Panzer IV coming out for another Stug, but just doesn't have anything to defend it anymore.
Mines win games.
Absolutely.
It's a tale as old as Company Heroes itself. The competitive side of things, at least. For the past 10 years, we've known it, and there it is, rearing its ugly head once more.
The army values just tell an absolute tale. Hey. It's been climbing up to this even plateau, and Dave has just completely dropped everything.
I just thought of a really cruel, like, bank balance joke or something about it. Sorry. Never mind. That's me after Christmas. That's my Christmas bank balance. Waiting for that January pay packet.
Oh yes. Hey, you know what? Dave is still believing that he has something to give in this game. He's got the AT gun, he's got it on Veteran C2. Has he just flicked on the ability? He's gone for target weak point. Does he get the shot off? AT gun does, actually hits it in the end. So the Stuka's going to go up, try to penetrate more shots. He's got vision from the Pioneers that can keep landing those shots. Pioneers are a little bit distracted.
Finish the job. What's this? In the south, we've got Dave with an LMG Grenadier versus Paul, a 6-pounder. What the hell is that going on? That's terrible.
Desperate VP capping right there. And look at these Tommies just clearing a 4-man squad on the retreat.
This
is good.
Truly
He could cap the left side. Oh no, Paul, has he just used 250 munitions to stop that AT gun getting capped?
He's simultaneously such a terrible player, but such a great player.
He gets it though. And of course, you win the argument again. Because
yes, he does. Clearly did. It's like the amount of times Paul has been demo charged with a blob. It's made for some incredible blob wipes, but you can't argue with his win rates, you know? Blobbing clearly gets the job done for him, at least.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that Dave has actually had opportunities to win, and you know, he's done all the right things. Really, just had a bad engagement after hitting those 2 mines. Those 2 mines in succession will probably be the thing that won this game.
Paul, our first winning king. Also, by the way, Dave had a plan today.
Oh, Dave,
what have you seen, son?
He moved just look. Technically, the model is in the VP. You know, if this was football or rugby, I mean, that would be capping. But, oh, he's missing it. He can't even decap. And now the British Commonwealth Army is just, oh, God.
There you go. He's jumped into action, and it's too late because he's now dead. Sometimes I say better late than never, but to be honest, this is just sad.
That's I don't think he'd be able to get the cap off anyway, so not too bad, but still. But,
I want the... I couldn't remember the sitcom's name. What's the sitcom with that Jewish guy that just stands there after something really embarrassing happens? He's an American. He's got grey hair. Like,
oh,
you know the one.
I know the meme.
That meme. That's the one I had going in my head. It was a terrible execution of said meme. Regardless, look at the Commonwealth Army, Dan. This is truly World War I-esque stuff. The tanks pushing up the frontal bit on 5 squads of Tommies.
Anybody watching from England right now will be watching with glee as these Comet tanks roar through the Axis army on fame.
As this Chinese-American KotH player roars forward with...
oh, look at this though. Stug actually gets a target weak point off on the Comet that doesn't have the speed to chase. Second one comes in to provide a little bit of support. And Dave has dropped from the game, meaning that Paula is our first king to go out with a monetary prize. He's on the accumulator, and we are going to start the raffle straight away for our next king.
No! You know, you killed her in your anger kind of thing.
What? Hey, I need to... sorry.